what's up guys? Thanks for joining us again. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we've had a video out. We've both been really busy guys, and I need to change brakes on my car, but that's race car problems. It's not cheap, man. My name's John.
I'm Zach.
And we're going to talk to you guys today about some boots and like the stuff that we actually use. There's plenty of extra choices out there, so don't think that we're limiting you to what you should, or we're telling you rather, these are the ones you should buy. Do research.
Especially because these are all military style boots.
Yes.
Don't think that that's the only thing out there.
There's plenty of hiking boots out there that you can get that aren't this super tactical, as much as we hate people saying it, high-speed operator. You don't have to do that. So we're just going to tell you guys what we use because he's in the Army. I wear mine because basically I like them and
They're comfy.
They're comfortable, and that's the only color that this particular version of mine come in. So we're going to run through these with you guys and basically give you a little bit on what exactly it is that we do with them, and then give you guys some guidance on how to pick a boot for you. So Zach, you actually have two pair out here, so you guys go ahead and start with yours here.
I'm going to make a quick statement. I'm wearing the Oakley SI boots. They're great boots, but I've only had them a little while, and we'll do an update video on some footwear, especially because John and I both want to pick up either a pair of Solomons or a pair of Merrells. He might pick up a pair of Merrells or Solomons, and I might get the other boot.
We'll give you guys a video on those too, and
so
just let you know.
Down the road we'll look at those. But the first boot, because I had it and I've pretty much worn it down to the point that these are out of production anymore. This is the first iteration, the first iteration of Nike combat boot. They have a new Nike boot called the Nike SF. It's a great boot. Just I didn't buy it because I had Nikes, so there's no reason for me to buy them. But the military changed their specs, and now these aren't authorized, and the new Nike SFs are. But the Nike SF has a little ridge right here where these have the summer vents for fast roping, where these have the vent for fast roping. I don't know about you, but I don't plan on fast roping anytime soon at any of these events because
there was a group that did, and they got banned from multiple national events because they fast roped at one down an elevator shaft and then argued with staff about it and got kicked out. You know who you are. And don't do that.
I'm also not an aviation unit. I'm not an airborne unit. I'm not, an SF unit by any means. I drive trucks. So these
big boy toys.
This and my Oakleys that I'm wearing are super lightweight boots. I absolutely love them for that. They're not really that light right now because I have stuff in them holding them up and down. But these boots actually have different set of lace on them because my biggest gripe with these Nikes was the laces, because they would sometimes when you pulled them to get tight, which all military style boots should have a fast lace on them, which means you can just grab the two laces, yank the two laces, and they pull tight all the way up. These didn't. For some reason, it might have been because I had wide feet. It could have been, 100 different reasons. But for me personally, they did not tighten up. So I picked up a lace called Tack Lace from their website. I saw it online because I was looking around for some new laces, and I came across these Tack Laces. It's a sweet little setup. It's got about 5 or 6 inches of the male side Velcro with about 6 to 8 inches of elastic, and then on the opposite side it's all sections of the female Velcro. It's a great little thing because all you have to do is pull your boots tight, like it's tight now. There's a little clasp on it, spring retention, and all you do is slide down to the boot, and then you have your whole little setup with your lace in here, and it's all pulled tight, and all you have to do is come around it, put your tack lace, Velcro it to itself, and you're done. And it's great, and I love it because You don't have to put your laces back inside your boot to possibly cause chafing on your ankle, and especially if your boots or your pants are bloused into your boot, which they're supposed to be, but a lot of the guys wear their boots bloused, out here just above the third or the second or third eyelet of your boot. So there's really no point in. That's why this is here. It is really nice. It doesn't normally sit like this, but it's tied so tight right now that
if your foot's going to be in it, basically
it's a little different.
Cinch it down, and then whenever you get this extra hanging off the back end of it,
this doesn't actually ever show up when you actually have something in there. Right now, the boot is so compressed, it's a little funky.
But at least you be able to size it for yourself. Mm-hmm. And then if you do have any extra hanging off, you can always tie it off where it should be, where it's comfortable. Then you can just clip the extra off, hit it with a lighter, because most of this stuff's nylon and melts anyways. Mm-hmm. Hit it with a lighter, burn it off. Good set.
The thing about these is, these and my Oakleys, they're not really a super aggressive tread. These are a little worn down, so it's a little hard to tell, but it pretty much all had this block shape to it, and only a couple of grooves in it to let it, really do some stupid flexing. It's a great boot, but it's more designed for running, for lightweight moving. It's meant for, again, we hate high-speed operator stuff, but it was designed to be a more high-speed boot than the combat boot.
Yeah.
Because, Nike is a sport shoe or a athletic shoe company. They made an athletic style boot. John and I saw the other day, they have a pair of
they're Air Jordans.
Air Jordan combat boots.
And
I will put a picture in the video somewhere because I saved it to my phone because I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, but hilarious at the same time.
What you know about them Jordans, Sar?
Pretty much.
It's even got the logo on the tongue and everything. It's not on the side like you think it should be. But it's got the little Air Jordan.
This is the only thing right here. There's a tiny little Nike swoop on these. On the Nike Combat Jordans, I'm going to call them Combat Jordans because it sounds cool. There's a logo in the center, and there's a Air Jordan tag dangling off of it. So I'm like, it's a little special. Again, we'll throw a picture in there because it's hysterical to me.
And if they're not super expensive, I'll probably end up buying a pair of those too.
They're probably $300 or $400.
That's fine.
But they would be hilarious.
I'd rather have those than as much as they are cool, I would never wear them because I'd be scared.
Yeah.
Those cork material LeBrons.
Those are terrible.
I would love to have them, but I would be too scared to wear them that I'm going to destroy a $500, $600 pair of shoes.
We're both heavy, so it is what it is. The next pair is my Danners. Unlike the Oakleys and the Nikes, this set does not have a vent hole. Also, John's 511s have a vent hole, but unlike the other set of boots, no vent holes on either side, and this has more of a swoop in the center. Not necessarily for fast roping, but it's a reinforced section that you could fast rope, or if you have to climb a rope, climb a rope.
Vault over stuff with it, catch your foot on that hook, and that keeps your foot from sliding completely over whatever it is you're trying to go over.
And with these, the tread on is a lot more, in comparison to these other boots, it's a more aggressive boot because it's meant for winter, slippery stuff, which is
rocky,
super descriptive, slippery stuff. Slick rocks or slick hills that you're trying to go up, or just an embankment that's kind of more of an angle than you should be trying to climb without a rope.
Some of you guys out west maybe have that really rocky, dry terrain. This would be better suited to them than like the Oakleys or even the Nikes would, because you get more separation
and you get more traction.
Particles. Yep.
And again, we're trying to be the most honest reviews out there. My huge complaint about these, and it might be a personal one, but these are a Gore-Tex boot. They're the Danner FTX or the TerraForce X boot. It's a Gore-Tex boot. That could be the reason why it's like this, but it's a really kind of thick, puffy boot, and it's not, and like the tongue is really, you know, I call it fluffy because, you know, fluffy.
Like a heavier pad.
And it's just, personally, I like the real thin tongues like the Nikes and the Oakleys, and it's just, maybe it's just not my style. It is what it is. They're still a great boot for the winter, for wet weather conditions.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Here's my 511s. These are the Desert ATAC boots. These, again, are more of they're kind of a cross between the Oakleys and the Nikes and the Danners. They don't have Gore-Tex, but they are predominantly below the ankle. They are predominantly this thicker leather suede kind of material. So it has really nice reinforcement. I would say it's at least an 800 denier Cordura, if not 1,000 denier Cordura right here.
My bad.
Country! So you got that reinforcement here. So it goes up from the ankle with like the Cordura material with kind of the support structure of the leather like on the back of it as well. So these work actually really well for me, being, again, a bigger dude. I'm 6'1", 255, 260, somewhere around there. So these work really good for me. That they support my feet and my ankles, but they also keep my feet cooler and drier because they are made for summertime while still maintaining good support. Like he said, they're kind of fluffy around the top and the tongue.
And while he's talking about cooler and drier, we've talked about it before, but he and I both put baby powder in our boots. Well, on our feet, in our socks. I put some in my boots to keep them dry.
Yep.
But it really helps because the base of your body is your feet. Mm-hmm. And you have to remember, if your feet are affected, your ankles are affected. If your ankles are affected, your knees are affected, and so on and so forth. It goes all the way up your body. Your feet could hurt, and your arm could start hurting. It seems stupid, but it happens. So take care of your feet; they'll take care of you. Make sure you're changing your socks. Make sure you're getting a good pair of socks and a good pair of shoes. I mean, this is life stuff right now. Get a good pair of socks, especially for events or wearing a boot. Get a good pair of winter socks or a good pair of athletic socks, depending on what type of thing you're doing. If you're hiking, get a good pair of hiking socks. If you're, running around in combat boots for the army, get a good pair of, socks.
At that point, probably athletic socks, because you're going to be walking around.
The Under Armour sock is absolutely fantastic. The Nike...
the dry fits or
dry
whatever.
fit sock. I wear them all the time, but they come in weird colors, so I don't wear them for the army because I'm not allowed to. But in a general census, wearing a good pair of socks with a good pair of boots, you should be set.
Yep.
And make sure if you are back at a hotel during an event because there's no camping option, or if you are camping, try to take a pair of, flip-flops, or, because I get yelled at all the time, there's a difference between flip-flops and slides. I didn't know that. I call them flip-flops. But, like basketball slide-on flip-flops, whatever. Just get something that'll let your feet breathe, and take your socks off. Let your feet get some air, let them dry out, let them do what they need to do to be better for the next day or the night op or whatever.
Very important thing.
And then, because I like to touch on it, make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're eating right, make sure you're taking care of yourself so you can do the best for your team and for the entire event.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a very important thing, because if you think about it, the basis for everything will start from the ground up at that point, and literally it's going to be the ground up because of your feet. So if you're going to be out there doing stuff for a really long time, make sure your footwear is where it needs to be in a proper, situation. Lastly, two things actually for this boot here. Two of the reasons I mainly like it, other than its comfort level for me, is the exterior here on the outside of either boot. It comes on both. Is actually this little pocket on the side that you can put 511 sidekick knife into. We're not telling you to go do this. Yeah, it's like a seatbelt cutter that's kind of squared off and boxy, or it's there's also a version that has kind of like a spearhead style single edge blade knife. Check your local laws on that kind of thing, because that can fall into the concealed carry weapon format.
Depending on the size and depending on
and being
if
it's
it's
fixed
concealed
blade.
or not.
Yeah, if it's fixed blade, I know a lot of places, a lot of townships and cities don't even allow anything fixed blade, period. So make sure you look into that if you are going to do something like that. But being in an airsoft situation, I use the safety cutter that kind of has like the little hook into it, and then the blade on the edge, kind of like a box cutter type square edge.
And we'll talk about those knives in another video, because I actually have one on my plate carrier. I believe you do
I have
too.
one too. Yep.
So we'll
I carry
talk
two of them.
about what I carry a good blade on me, period.
Yep.
So
Don't
we'll
worry.
talk about that in another
For all
video.
you knife people,
We'll get there.
we'll have some blade work for you. It'll be fine, I promise.
We collect knives
Oh yeah.
and flashlights
Oh yeah. We collect all
And
the
fun
cool
things.
stuff. And really cool
and tactical pens.
writing instruments. Super technical. Get this. Really cool. We'll get there. But anyways, tactical nerd stuff, as I say. But lastly, the thing about these is, unlike the other pairs that we have addressed today, they have a side zip on them that's really nice for when we were at an event.
Aaron from Raptor Airsoft, you know who you are.
Rolled his ankle and got a
Third degree
yeah.
sprain, which neither of us knew about.
No, we didn't know that.
Pretty much the entire team was like,
What?
that's a thing, because, I only thought there was a sprain and a break, so...
Yeah, apparently there's different levels, but
Yeah.
in a situation like that, if there is some kind of injury, this unzips completely down to almost the sole of the boots, just above the actual vent hole, so it stops right there. So for something like that, when you can unzip this and literally just pop it off the heel and the shoe comes right off, it's a very handy thing to have. That's one of the reasons that I got this.
But remember, in a situation that you've rolled an ankle or someone on your team has rolled an ankle, it's better to not take the shoe off unless you are a medical professional or someone who is trained to do what needs done in the event of an injury. So it's really, his big thing was he jumped out of my truck, and when he landed, it kind of caught on the bumper of my truck, and he twisted it one way, and when he fell out of the vehicle, it went the opposite direction. So his big thing was, for one, he wasn't wearing boots. And Aaron, I hate to be using you as an example, but I love
Poor
you,
guy.
but you need to hear this as much as everyone else. The big thing is to wear boots. Even if it's a hiking boot, I'm not saying military boots are the way to go. I'm just saying you need to be wearing boots in a situation that your ankle is more prone to be twisting an ankle, or an athletic shoe that is meant for, ankles being twisted.
Yep.
Basketball shoes are designed to keep your ankle from, breaking because of, the different weird angles that they're coming to. Like, sometimes when you shoot, that's why I really like some of the boots I have that are a little thinner, because you can get that weird angle on your shot and still be able to take your shot, even if your feet are, super cockeyed or in a weird angle.
Yep.
Or in a weird niche, to try to keep yourself up straight while you're firing. And that's real world and
that works for everything.
pew pew.
Absolutely. Feet are an important thing to keep structurally supported, as well as comfortable and dry. That's kind of an important thing, just because if you're going to be out there for several hours at a time like we've been, out there for up to, I want to say one of the times that I went, it was like 15 hours with a couple of little sit-down breaks to grab a snack and, hydrate some.
I went to Operation Crucible, put on by Out of the Box Industries. That event runs, we were the Special Forces unit deployed Friday night. So we were out there Friday night, Saturday, and almost all day Sunday. So we were out there we were in the same set of shoes 3 days, roughly, or 2 full days. Maybe it was probably 40 hours worth of gameplay. So you got to take care of yourself.
Yep.
So,
and again, we'll expound some more on that, preparing for something like that. We'll get into a video that's strictly dedicated to what do I need to do to prepare for a 24 to 48 hour actual game time kit.
Out of the Box Industries Operation Durundulus coming March 24th on the CO, so be prepared for some videos with that. I'm actually taking a Real Steel AR to fire blanks, so it should be an exciting environment.
Absolutely. We're really looking forward to posting some of the footage from that event to you guys as well. I'll have my GoPro with me, and hopefully if I can find a protective lens cover that I feel comfortable putting on a $500 camera, I'll be taking my regular camera as well to get some stills, try to get some dynamic shots to really kind of bring out
at that same point. I'm going to try to get him to take it because that's the mission base.
Yeah.
It's a sneak and peek mission. It's meant to be not so much a pew-pew game. It's meant to be a sneak around, get the info we need, and then the main objective, again, from our last video, is to disrupt a arms deal. So it's more take pictures and go in and take care of what we need to do, sneaky, then
take Tears of the Sun and mix it with like Zero Dark 30-ish kind of stuff, like the raid at the end. So you have the really cool badassery of sneaking around and being quiet about stuff and gathering intel on things, and then absolute devastation and carnage near the end. Fantastic.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be good. So with that, we're going to wrap this one up. You're going to see another video from us where we're wearing basically the same stuff and everything looks the same because it is, because we didn't want to put it into this one too. We're going to have a completely separate video on what our primary plate carriers are between the two of us right now, to kind of get started into something like that too, to give you guys an idea like what we use as seasoned players who use this stuff not only for airsoft but for real steel too, applications as well, those just in case kind of things. So we'll have that for you guys in our next video. Again, thank you for watching and bearing with us as we get started in this. We hope you'll stick it out. My name's John.
I'm Zach.
Remember, keep shooting straight.
Except John doesn't know the video's not over yet because Raptor did a vote, and John, welcome to the team.
Awesome, dude. Thank you very much. That means a lot. That actually, that's a big surprise for me. I've been trying for this team for a while now, and due to life circumstances and things, especially with like work and personal life, I haven't really been able to dedicate the time that I wanted to this, but it really makes me feel proud to know that they notice the dedication that is actually in my heart and the motivation that I have to do what I can when I can. So this actually means a lot. So for those of you guys that had a hand in this, that may be watching this, I thank you greatly. I really do. So again, thank you guys for watching with us. Keep shooting straight, and we'll catch you all next time.